Okay, guys, this is going to be the featured matchup of today. We're playing Irelia versus Orianna. This is quite an Irelia-sided matchup. It's especially post 6, it's quite hard for Orianna to play. That being said, um, I'll show you a lot of tricks that I used in this game to dominate her very early on. The first one is a really important one, and this is something that I do into a lot of mages. And what I do is I just simply don't show on the first wave. And this is something that I don't see anybody else do on Irelia, and it's really important. Because a lot of the time, when the opponent doesn't see you're there, sometimes they're just defaulting to hitting the wave, and that's what we see here. Without her seeing me, she just starts autoing the wave, and already this sets up a really bad lane state for her, because now I can just let the wave come in a little bit. Now, I start walking up when I need to thin the wave, because when Ariana's hit the wave so much, I don't want to let her stack a massive wave, so I want to make sure I'm thinning the wave and letting it come in while it's smaller. So here, what we see is now once she's autoed the wave quite a bit, now I'm going to walk up. Now here she's walking quite deep on my minion, and this is my kind of first mistake. I think I'm too late to look for the Q auto here. As she's walking in, I should already be queuing this when she's in auto range. And I look for it now, but it's just a bit too late, and then I'm out of range for the auto. But here I see that she has to last hit her minion, so I can continue to run forward here. And if she wants to get this minion, she's going to have to let me hit her. Then here, I have to walk back and respect a little bit, but notice how she's taking some minion aggro. Now I'm just setting up some potential Qs, and this auto just helps thin the wave a little bit, thinning the wave. And now I can walk forward and auto her here. And this is just pretty much, something that I like to do in a lot of these matchups where you can poke them down a little bit. You don't want to make the lane too volatile, but if you can get them into like the 50% health range or even lower, as you can see here, then at level 2 you're going to have such a high kill threat. And this is dissimilar, and keep this in mind, this is very dissimilar to champions that have burst. Because Orianna has some good damage early, but it's more poke. It's not really a lot of burst. If this were against a Vex, or against a Zoe, I wouldn't want to do this at all, because being on this HP wouldn't benefit me. It would only benefit them because then I'm under their kill threat. Whereas now, Orianna doesn't have the threat to kill me, but I have the threat on her. Whereas if this was Irelia versus Zoe and we were both at this HP, I would be under more threat than she would be. So now when I'm under this threat, I see that this is my level 2 minion, so I'm going to hit here. And already in my head, I'm noticing that this minion is getting aggroed by my minion, so very soon it will be under the threshold to Q to it. And with this melee minion here going to move up, now I can set up a double Q here. So I auto this once, and notice how far I walk back, because already I want to bait her in to be able to double Q here. So I move very far back, and now I double Q forward. I land the E, and I lean it forward far enough so that if she flashes in a straight line, it still hits her, and it's a free kill. So really the biggest takeaway from this particular kill, well, two things. One is finding these kind of pokes where you can, a lot of the time these players aren't sophisticated enough in their spacing to where you can just find these free auto attacks, like queuing forward on these minions, finding these autos. I think I actually even canceled an auto there. I think that I could have gotten, or I didn't cancel it, but I could have just gotten an extra auto. And then here, realizing the double Q that's being set up, realizing what minion's getting targeted, and this minion will soon be in my Q threshold. So now I walk back to try and bait her in, because if I'm standing up here to be able to Q this minion, it's going to be really obvious what I'm trying to do. She's just going to see that I'm trying to Q on this minion. But when I walk back here this far, she's no longer thinking about this minion, whereas I am. And so now I can just use that as an easy double jump there, and that's a free kill. So what I do here, you could say this is a little bit of a mistake. Maybe I should have just left more of her minions alive to push to me slowly. But what I wanted here was I wanted Cullen refillable, so I just took the amount of gold that I needed, and then I got my Cullen refillable. She hit the wave anyway, so it's coming out to me, which is really good. And now I'm already looking for these low minions in the back line. So here I see this low minion's getting targeted. this is a bit of a mistake by me. These minions started aggroing it, so I autoed too many times. Here, what I wanted to do was I saw this minion getting targeted by my minions, so I wanted to thin this minion and set up another double Q here. But then this minion started getting aggroed, so that was a bit too soon. And now I'm looking at this minion, and she actually misspaces here, so I just Q on her for a bit of a short trade. And I make sure to queue out so that I limit the damage she can do on the back end. And again, I'm already thinking of potential Q angles here and how to potentially get on her. Now I'm looking at these minions. These are soon going to be in my Q threshold. So I walk up, I land the E, and then I double Q. I think was yeah, I could have held this definitely longer, and I think this would have killed if I just held the W a bit longer. But I live anyway, and I push this wave, and yeah, Skarner comes, but somehow I survive. I honestly shouldn't have lived there. But yeah, this is where things get a bit ludicrous. Um, my J4 takes this fight, and I think in my head there's actually a way we can win this because I do have Cookie that I should have popped earlier, but I forget to pop in the fight. And then yeah, this is a war crime. This should have never happened. But yeah, it's just to show you the some of the limits you can manage if you know your limits on Irelia. One important thing here is the importance of. Now you might be thinking that I should auto Q to get my Q reset. It's better to auto Q auto here because that's the most life stealing you can get off a target like that with D-Blade and stuff. So auto Q auto there is better than auto Q because it's just faster. And then yeah, so that's how you completely dominate an Orianna in the Irelia Orianna matchup. Thanks for watching.